How is it going, YouTube? Malagant here. So we are going to be looking into my starter, and I've been getting a lot of questions in the past week or two that I've been streaming LastEpoch on Twitch. You know, did I decide what I'm going to be playing with the launch? There's one question that has been asked a lot about the game. I suppose it's coming from the people that did not buy the game yet. They're asking if we have to restart when the game launches. And in short, it is a yes, you need to restart, but if you don't want to participate in the cycle, which is like league or season of LastEpoch, if you don't want to participate in that, and if you are okay with playing your legacy characters, you can continue playing the characters that you created before the launch as well, because they're going to be transferred in the legacy, and then there'll be a new page opening with the cycle with the launch on 21st February. And yeah, within the cycle, obviously, if you want to participate, you not only need to be playing online, but at the same time, you're gonna need to restart. So everything will be fresh. That out of the way, I'm going to be playing a Sentinel, most likely a Paladin. It's going to be a damage over time build. There is quite a lot of misconception when it comes to like damage over time in this game. People, like, you know, I read quite a bit of stuff, and I'm hearing that, like, you know, damage over time relies a lot on, like, you know, hitting fast and like stacking up as many debuffs on the enemy, etc. This is certainly true for some builds, but you know, not every damage over time is that way. So for instance, this character right over here is utilizing the javelin, and it's going to be utilizing the judgment. So my skills are, I suppose, like right under the camera, which is not a great placement right there. Let's put the camera a little bit like right over here for now. So yeah, it's going to be Javelin and Judgment, and that's going to be utilizing damage over time, because one of them is going to be opening the Consecrating Aura, and the other one is going to be opening the Holy Trail, and they're going to be scaling from spell damage, attunement, strength, and at the same time damage over time, fire damage over time, fire damage. You get the idea. It's kind of like a Righteous Fire a little bit from Path of Exile, if you're familiar with it, but at the same time, it with the javelin, you also have some sort of like a ground, a firewall, if you would like to call it, that is very good to like snipe enemies from far away, so I don't necessarily need to like go into them. One of the bad parts about the character is that, like, I'm not going to be using a mobility, especially in the late game. Up until like level 80 or something, you could play with a mobility such as like lunge or something, but like afterwards, I think for the single target, heavier single targets, you want something like volatile reversal, or you want to take the sigils instead of the lunge. But yeah, they're both required, and I will be playing without a lunge or without a, you know, shield rush. So any sort of like, what was this called again? Like traversal, any sort of traversal ability. So mobility is going to be a little bit lacking. So I will, like, you know, put more focus into movement speed, I think. So let's talk about why Sentinel. I am playing hardcore, as you know, so I'm really looking forward to making quite a lot of content out of LastEpoch, because it's amazing in my opinion. It's a little bit reminiscent of Grim Dawn, simply because of like how I enjoy streaming it, but at the same time how the game progresses. And it's going to be very self-found oriented as well, thanks to how the Circle of Fortune is going to be working, and I'm really hyped about that. So all that being said, I'll have like my own journey. So why hardcore is simply because like it gives you more content, right? When you die, you end up realizing it did not work, or like you have more stalling leading up to the boss, or leading up to the upgrades, because like you're kind of scared. You don't know if you're really ready for it, especially when you're not really experienced with the game yet. So there's quite a bit of like unknown to you, etc. So it's just going to be good content for both YouTube and Twitch, and at the same time it will be much more content for me before burning out from the game. That's why it's going to be in hardcore. And that being said, it's Sentinel is a good starter, simply because like its base, when it comes to like the points that you spend, is very good health, very good resistance, incredible good resistance, and on top of that, quite decent block chance. You know, it's crit avoidance, even heavy armor nodes, and at the same time it's kind of maintaining some sort of like a you know, balance when it comes to like offense as well, by how easy it is to be offensive with a character like this one. Now that's going to be my first point. It's incredibly defensive when it comes to like just these things. It's incredibly easy to, you know, like cap your resistances. My resistances are much better than this, by the way. It's kind of like low over here simply because my aura is not active. The holy aura is, unfortunately, for some reason, it's not active in tone. So when it activates, everything is going to be capped out. But apart from that, on top of this, there's also the fact that like I would like to go for damage over time. I'm just going to say it. I believe damage over time is going to be a little bit broken in this game. I think it needs to be reworked. So there are like certain type of things in the late game, especially like the entire late game is built around this monolith system. And as you're jumping through echoes, so maps, you are bringing or you're selecting, you know, this map mod, the echo mod, and then this echo mod is like echoing for a couple more runs, and then like all of these echo mods are piling up and making the content incredibly more dangerous for you, right? So there's crit avoidance on the monsters, there's going to be glancing hits on the monsters, there's going to be dodge rating on the monsters, there's going to be you know, critting monsters. And this list continues. I think I should be able to count like 6 or 7 mods that this character right over here, just right off the bat, completely going to be without commitments, by the way, completely ignore. So it's not going to be caring about those nodes whatsoever, and they are going to be completely free nodes. Let me explain. Simply because glancing is glancing against hits. Dots do not hit in this game, especially the character that I'm going to be playing. The same thing is against dodge. I am going to be crit immune, and I won't need to crit, so I don't care about their like crit immunity, because, you know, damage over time, again, it doesn't need to crit. Scaling, the dots that I have selected, both of them, let me see. So consecrated ground over here, as you see in the middle, it says consecrate ground gains 1 spell damage for increased healing effectiveness. Over here, it's going to be saying the same for holy trail. The amounts of health gained, let me see, is it over here maybe? There it is. Holy Trail gains additional spell damage based on your increased healing effectiveness. Is exactly the same value, by the way. So it is going to be +1 for 5% healing effectiveness. Well, guess what? Paladin has insane amounts of healing effectiveness on the nodes that are defensive that we just talked about right over here. So I am becoming even more offensive with the things that I have selected while going for defensive. So it's extremely, extremely interesting. And I have tested this in the past couple of days. It's very easy to itemize at the same time. So like, I'm really looking forward to the launch, and this is going to be the character that I'll join and like try to get towards, you know, the empowered monoliths and try to, you know, build up my stash. You know me, like my goal is not going to be finishing the game or whatever with this character, maybe even ever. I will probably never even like get to finish the game, you know, according to some people. It doesn't really matter for me. It's going to be like building up my stash so that like I can, you know, have like riches in there for southbound mode, so that my next character is going to be having much easier time, you know, much pimped time. Let's say it will be quite, you know, swimming in like maybe even like leveling legendaries and stuff. I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm going to be testing out like different characters. I will be giving your way lots of leveling videos. Perhaps they're not all going to be guides, perhaps they're just going to be like, some of them are going to be VODs, but you'll be clearly see the, you know, way that I'm going to be going in leveling, and at the same time, you know, you'll be seeing the build that I'm going to be taking, or like respecs that I'm going to be doing, etc. That's going to be all from me today. Thank you for watching, and if you have any questions at all about like LastEpoch, or if you would like to see a certain type of content from me when it comes to LastEpoch, or if you would like to comment on the character, even give suggestions about the character that I'm going to be playing, just feel free to drop a comment below, and I'm going to be, you know, at very least checking it out. Even if I don't reply, 100% will be seeing it. Thank you for watching, everybody. In the description below, also, there's a link to my profile in LastEpoch, where you will be able to see literally every single character that I play, unless I delete the character. So, peace. See you next time.